Hey guys, it's me, Kat. Welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas event. This is the first video I will be doing for the event. The book is called Red Snowflakes. It is by Kristal Dawn Harris. Thank you so much, Kristal, for participating in this. Dawn and I are so excited that you were so eager to join us and so helpful, and so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I adored Red Snowflakes. So, as I have mentioned on my channel before, I do not read much paranormal romance at all. I would love some recommendations, so as always, make sure that you let me know your favorite recommendations in the comments below of paranormal romances. That's hard to say. I do really like vampire romance though, so I guess you could say that that's really the only paranormal romance I've ever been able to get into. So I was excited that this was a vampire romance. It reminded me, because I have not read one in forever, that I really like vampires. Sexy vampires. And it's funny because earlier in the week, I think it was, maybe it was last week, one of my daughters was watching, she has watched the Vampire Diaries TV show several times, like start to finish, and she started it again, and I happened to be sitting down doing some work on the computer and she was watching it in the background, and I was like, oh, well, now I'm totally sucked in. And Red Snowflakes is about Dimitri and Dena. Dimitri is a vampire. He lives alone. He is looking for his bloodmate, and he has an expiration date. He has lived centuries and he still has not found her. And he knows that he is going to die unless he finds her. This book starts out kind of sad in that Dimitri is like, well, I guess she's not coming. So, you know, he's slowly basically dying and he's kind of given up hope a little bit. And I thought, oh my gosh, let's hope we go up from here. Dena is a forensic photographer. She photographs crime scenes and stuff like that. She goes out into the wilderness around her. Beautiful pictures. It's just something that's organic, that's in her. So she decides on her day off that she's going to go and take more pictures. She's going to go someplace where she knows exactly how, you know, it's going to be a beautiful scenery for her. She knows the path she's going on. She's safe. She brings food. She's dressed for the elements, all of that business. And she goes out and sets out on her way for the day. Like I said, Dimitri has an expiration date and he's waited for his bloodmate forever, and he has kind of conceded that he's never going to find her and he's just awaiting his death, which is when he will have eternal rest. As it turns out, you can see where I'm going. Oh my gosh, Dena's his bloodmate. Dena is human. Dena has no idea about any of this. Dena is out taking pictures of the beautiful scenery around her, and lo and behold, she walks out on a lake or pond, which she thought was completely safe and frozen over, and it's not. Let me tell you, that is the biggest fear of mine. Not that I would ever do that, but my in-laws live on a lake, and when the kids were younger, and people ice fish and snowmobile on the lake all the time, and it's beautiful in the winter, but oh my gosh, I was paranoid when my kids were little, actually now as well, and my kids are older, that somebody was gonna walk out there and the ice was gonna crack. Well, poor Dena. Dena is out in the middle of nowhere basically, and she is now soaked to the bone. It's freezing outside, and this storm picks up around her, and she's having trouble finding her way, and she's lost, and she's freezing, and she's dying. And she comes across, in the middle of nowhere, this beautiful, huge home. She gets basically to the door of the home, hoping that somebody's home that can help her, and she basically, you know, passes out. Well, guess whose house it is? It's Dimitri's. I enjoyed their story. Dimitri helps nurse her back to health. It turns out it's only 5 days before Christmas. Dena realizes pretty quick something's going on here. she looks into his eyes and sees his eyes change, and she realizes that he's not completely human. I really liked their story and how Kristal told it. It was enough fantasy that it was a great story to read, but yet it wasn't so far off paranormal romance that I couldn't wrap my head around it. It was absolutely perfect as far as all of that goes. In the little bit of knowledge that I have about vampires, which is basically zero, it's something that's so human about them whenever I read a story about them, or in the Vampire Diaries TV show, or in Twilight, or any of the other recent vampire movies or whatever. There's something so human about them. And it was this way for Dimitri as well, is that he doesn't want the vampire life for his loved ones, for Dena. He needs her to fall in love with him, otherwise he's going to have eternal rest. But he doesn't want this life for her, but yet he wants her, because she's his bloodmate, his soulmate. And there was something really sweet about that as far as Dimitri went, that he knew that he wanted her and had to have her, but yet he's lonely as a vampire, and he has been incredibly lonely, and that was so sad. There's enough ifs and drama in this book to keep you interested. How are they going to have a happily ever after? Because I really do like my happily ever afters. I need them in books. And rest assured, in Red Snowflakes, Dimitri and Dena have a happily ever after. I would definitely recommend Red Snowflakes, and make sure you read it so you can see where Red Snowflakes fits into the story. It was a really sweet part of the story. Thanks so much, Kristal, for participating. We really appreciate it, and stay tuned for the rest of 12 Days of Christmas. See you soon.